All right, y'all. Night of Champions. That was just something else. Now, I'm really surprised they started the show off with the World Heavyweight title on the line. When it comes to wrestling, I really believe that an order of a show is very important. You gotta look at the lineup and be like, okay, this should be here, this should be there. It's really important to put them in the right order, especially when you are advertising three main events and you start off with one of them. It's kind of insane. Now, we started off with Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles. Both these guys very deserving of this title. I did feel like it was Seth time for that. This was a really great match. I really enjoyed it. And when you think of the order of the show, you don't think of this being first because of what's on the line here. However, they had great energy. The crowd was absolutely engaged. And it felt like, okay, this is great to open the show by the time the match was over. Now, throughout this match, we do have Seth, who is playing on a knee injury here throughout it. So it made it look at times like, man, Seth is not going to win this. Sometimes he is limping, trying to stay off his leg or whatnot. And it seems like AJ had a advantage over Seth. Now, this match ends up with Seth taking the win. I really do feel like that was the right call. I know he was filming a movie. If he was still filming, I doubt that they would put the title on him right now. So I do think that might be done and over with most likely. Later on the show, Seth is like, hey, I'm going to be on Monday Night Raw and then every Monday Night Raw from here on out. So that's great. He's showing, even before it happens, that he's going to be a active champion. So that's great. Now, congrats to Seth. But get ready for some crazy fashion choices with our new champion, because this guy here, the things he put on is crazy. That jacket he had on, I think I have one just like that in my closet. Either way, congrats to Seth for the win. And AJ Styles did a really great job. So obviously kudos to him. Want to see some more great things for AJ as well. Next, we had Trish Stratus versus Becky Lynch. And after watching this match, well, not even the whole match, like halfway, I was like, they should have opened the show with this. The energy died down. The vibe of the show died down from a really high-stake match starting the show to Becky and Trish. Now, no offense to either one of these girls. They're professionals. I've seen much better from each of them in the past. However, one of my biggest pet peeves when it comes to wrestling is poor transitions into big spots. You have a big moment coming on, and you and your opponent need to be ready. I don't like, I'm waiting for my opponent to be ready, or, oh, we're trying to get ourselves in a move, and it's just not, you guys are not in sync. Something about that just bothers me. It feels like it's hard to enjoy the match when the two opponents don't feel prepared for big stuff in the match. So for me, I could not enjoy this the way I wanted to. Now, things did pick up with Zoe Starks coming out from under the ring and helping Trish. When that happened, I actually felt like, even though I hate interferences because we see them too much in wrestling, I actually felt like this was a good call. And it also changed the vibe of the match as well. And Trish ends up winning. That whole moment, I wish it was short but sweet, because it felt like Trish had to keep the referee distracted for way too long. And I wasn't feeling that, but I'm okay with what happened. Trish ends up winning. I'm cool with that. But you know what that means. We're going to see this storyline continue. I'm not sure if I'm happy about that. But either way, I was not really satisfied with this match at all. Next, we have Mustafa Ali and Gunther. I enjoyed this match. They played off the underdog story here with Mustafa, which I'm going to say was the wrong move. I don't think that this match helped Mustafa in any type of way. There is a way to have two people go in the ring and the one who is losing can still get over. And I felt like this was a missed opportunity because that didn't happen. My thoughts on Mustafa did not change after this. I don't feel like it did anything when it comes to the next move into his career. I want to see certain things where it's like, yeah, so-and-so is losing, but they look really good losing here. And I felt like it was a missed opportunity to go with the whole underdog story, which they really did stick with throughout this match. So it was really good. I didn't expect anything less from Gunther, but I do feel like Mustafa did play the role he's supposed to play here. Gunther does take the win. That's my only complaint. Sometimes I just think a little bit too much like a booker and rather than a fan, and sometimes I just can't enjoy it. Now, I do want to make a point here that some people are either not going to agree with or just not going to understand where I'm coming from. I don't remember if it was before the match or after the match, they had these, you know how they have those ridiculous graphics that they just do too much of on WWE. They had these banners, these red banners with Gunther's face in black and white on them. And I'm not going to lie, they look like Nazi flags. Now, it doesn't have a Nazi symbol on it, but it looks like something very close in nature. I honestly feel like when it comes to wrestling, it's okay to play off stereotypes and things like that. You know, like with the Iron Sheik or the Koloffs or things like that. Those type of things worked back then. However, I can't remember seeing any wrestling where they use something as one of the most despicable acts as in what the Nazis did. And I for sure know they based it off Gunther, off of Nazis. He's Austrian. Austria was part of the Triple Allies with Nazi Germany. So they played off that. And I get it. They started with that. They had a lot of backlash and they changed Gunther's name because he was actually named after someone who was a Nazi. So they changed that after they got a lot of negative press about it or whatnot. And I feel like that's the right move. However, I do feel like at times it still seemed like they're playing off that. And with these flags, I felt really reminiscent of Nazi banners. Now, that might not be the case that they did this on purpose, but the truth is that when I think of Gunther, he's somebody who's going to be somebody in this company, in this wrestling world. And I feel like when you have somebody like Gunther, you have to be careful with how you present them, whether if it's a character or if it's outside the ring or whatever it is. You got to keep them away from certain imageries that's going to hurt them in the long run. I felt like when they did those little flag things that they should have used different colors so that people don't have to accuse them of using Nazi imageries to, show Gunther as a character. I really feel like they need to stay away from that and let this man become somebody in this business without one of the worst stereotypes you can put on him. Either way, Gunther, he definitely retains. I enjoyed this match, but I do wish that they went a different way with this to help Mustafa get over more. I enjoyed the match, but that little flag thing, I didn't like it. Asuka versus Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's Championship. First of all, I'm going to say it. Asuka won, so I'm so happy about that. And then now let's get into a little bit of details. These girls don't have great chemistry. They really do not. The pacing of this match was not great. At times, there were awkward moments with these girls. These girls are really, really talented, but for whatever reason, going into this match, I wasn't really too excited to see them after we've already seen them before, and it wasn't even all that at WrestleMania. So now we're revisiting these two girls together, and I felt like something was just absolutely off with this. And another thing too, the referee in this match, she got involved in like 2 times in this match where a referee does not need to be involved. The referee is supposed to be there, but the match is supposed to be good enough for you not to even see them. You get what I'm saying? I don't want to see referees stopping certain things, inserting themselves into ways where it could be biased. You know what I mean? You got to be absolutely impartial when it comes to a match and call it straight down the line. If an opponent is going to do something to get themselves disqualified, let them do it and then call out the match. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. Now, there was a point of this match where Asuka is going to spray the mist into Bianca's eyes. I'm not really sure, based off how it happened, if the referee knew that was going to happen, but she stands in front of Asuka and pushing her back and moving Bianca away like they shouldn't be together. And it's like, wait a minute. So even if she sprays this mist, if that calls for her to be disqualified, ring the fucking bell. You're not supposed to be impartial at all as a referee. So that really kind of threw it off for me, aside from them obviously not having really great chemistry in this match. So Asuka ends up winning by taking whatever less of the mist that she had in her mouth, rubbing it into her hands, and then she wiped the mist into Bianca's eyes. Referee obviously didn't see that, and she ends up taking the win. I personally would have loved to see this clean. You know, maybe some people would agree, would not agree. I would have liked to see this clean. I've been rooting for her for so long to take this title off of her. But either way, I'm happy for Asuka. Can't wait to see what she does moving forward. And please, no more rematches with these two girls. They're not that great together in the ring. Next match, we had the SmackDown Women's title on the line. Rhea Ripley versus Natalya. Now, when Natalya comes out first, and when I hear Rhea's music come on, I'm like, you know what? Let me get the laundry in the washing machine. Bro, by the time I'm done with all that, the match was already over. Literally. It had to have been a minute and a half type of situation. I had to watch it back to see what happened. Natalya didn't get a chance to do a damn thing here. And to make matters worse, it's actually her birthday. So I'm like, damn, why should she go down like this on her birthday? I feel like it was a waste of time to even put this match on the card for it to have gone this quickly. I don't think having squash matches as a champion is effective at all. And to top it off, they gave more time, way more time with Trish and Becky over this. Absolutely insane. And there's nothing to see here at all. Next, we had Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. And I have to mention that Brock Lesnar wins this. This is really important because people are upset about the outcome of this match. And I really feel like those who are upset, they don't see the bigger picture here. Now, I don't like Cody Rhodes. I don't care for what he does in the ring. Don't really care for him as a character. But how they are moving along with Cody to be the top guy, this is how you get it done. What they're doing with Cody, that underdog story, that's exactly how it's supposed to work. He has to lose in order to get to the top. Like I said before, he was gone with an injury. He comes back, wins the Rumble, and goes into the match with Roman. Nothing deserving about that. Because he won the Royal Rumble at number 30. Nothing deserving about that. So now he has to work his way to beating the guy who has just made 1,000 days, which was today. So he has to work for it. And this is how you get it done. Throughout this match, we have Brock Lesnar making sure that he locks in that Kimura lock several times. He tries to get this move. And I think it's because of how they ended with Backlash. Backlash, we had Lesnar put Cody in a Kimura lock, and he reverses that and ends up winning. So now he's like, bitch, you gonna tap with this Kimura lock. Now, what ends up happening is by the last time he locks it in, Cody ends up passing out rather than tapping. I guess that's supposed to look better than tapping out. During a press conference, Triple H is like, yeah, Cody's arm is broken, but he's going to get into this match. Does anybody believe his arm is really broken? Absolutely not. Now, have there been times where wrestlers have gone into the ring with like a broken limb or something like that? Yes, there has been. The Undertaker has done that. The Hell in a Cell match he had with Mankind. His foot was broken. But he decided to get in the ring and have that crazy ass match. But they will never advertise something like this because this is definitely a liability to send somebody where you guys know has a broken whatever, gets into the ring, and you're publicly putting out that information. That's insane. So now Cody Rhodes is supposed to have a broken arm. This is for you to feel even more sorry for him. There's no broken anything here. Now, throughout the match on commentary, they're really putting out the whole underdog story with Cody Rhodes. And at times it's like, all right, y'all being a little obsessive, but we get it. You know what I mean? They're doing everything so that people can really feel sorry for him, but also feel like, hey, even though we feel sorry for him, he's putting on the best he can possibly put on. And this is exactly how they need to move him along until he gets his hands on Roman Reigns. When that will happen, I don't know. I keep thinking maybe SummerSlam. I'm not really sure if they will do it then. They'll probably push it a little bit further. Not sure where they're going to go from here. Is it the last we're going to see from Brock and Cody? I don't think so. Cody has to definitely stick with that cast for 6 to 8 weeks at least. So that's going to be his buddy if he's going to keep wrestling from here on out. So where it is going, I'm not sure. When it's going to transition to Cody and Roman again, I'm not sure, especially now that things have gotten more complicated with the main event. On to the main event, we had the Undisputed Tag Team titles on the line. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens versus our Tribal Chief in Solo Sikoa. Now, obviously, Sami gets a super huge pop here. Something that I never thought we'd ever see. Apparently, things have gotten much better with the Saudis and the Syrians. So, you know, Sami, he's over there and he's really well received. So that was really great to see and whatnot. He did, I think he was speaking Arabic to the crowd, and that even put him even more over. It was fun. With this match, though, I have to say, this was less about the wrestling and more about the story. This is not always a concept that I like because sometimes it's not done right. But consistently with this Bloodline storyline, they've been consistent with doing these types of dramatic matches and having people to be really emotionally invested into them. So I really enjoyed this a lot. Now, we start off the match with Sami and Roman in the ring. The crowd is hyped the hell up with these two starting. And before Roman can do anything, he goes and tags Solo into the match. And everybody in the building is booing. It was absolutely funny. Now, he does little things that gets the crowd riled up. I really like those type of qualities in the heel where they could just give you a look and you're booing them. I really love what they've been doing with Roman. Everything has been really great. Now, with that being said, the story is still playing out with these matches. And we have a part where the referee gets hurt. I don't even remember what happened to him. He was gone for the rest of the match. So the Usos take advantage coming out from the crowd and going to help our Tribal Chief. And when that happens, I already felt like something's going to go wrong here for sure. After they take care of business with Kevin Owens outside of the ring, now we have them still trying to, help out, but the referee is not involved. Now, while I'm saying what's going on, it's actually taking much longer to happen than how I'm saying it. This made the drama dragged out a little bit, so I enjoyed that. Now, moving on into the ring, we have a spot where they accidentally do a double super kick onto Solo Sikoa. And I was like, whoa, we knew something was going to happen, but I wasn't really expecting that. Now, the Tribal Chief is so upset that happens. He's yelling at them. He's pushing them around. And Jimmy is just like, you know what? Fuck this. We've taken too much shit from you. And he gives a super kick to our Tribal Chief. Can you believe that? I was like, whoa, Jimmy got some balls on him. And everybody is shocked. Jay, he is just like, holy shit, what did you just do? And they just added to the drama. We knew something was going to happen at some point with them. So it's not surprising, but it was great to actually see. Now, Jay, he definitely don't seem happy about that. And what the tribal chief would have wanted to happen is for Jay to take care of business onto Jimmy. And that doesn't happen. So definitely there's going to be repercussions with that, because the tribal chief is going to be like, well, you saw him superkick me and you did nothing about that after that happened. So they end up leaving, and we finally get a new ref to come into this match. And Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens end up retaining. I really like how they keep playing off of this story. A lot of people, they're actually tired of the story and just want it to be done and over with. To be honest, WWE is going to keep milking this until the cow says, hey, there is no more milk, you know? And I'm actually okay with that, because it's really entertaining. It's the biggest thing going on in pro wrestling. And a lot of it really makes sense as long as you're telling a really good story, and they'll be able to, you know, add that in with some great wrestling. I do think that they're making the right call with continuing this storyline. This pay-per-view, it wasn't all that, but the stuff that was really, really good, like the heavyweight title match, that's definitely something to look for. This main event, also the match with Gunther and Mustafa was great as well. Cody Rhodes, while that wasn't the best match that they had, it wasn't the best match, I really do feel like it was better than Backlash, and it continues the story too. So if you want to check that out, then great. As far as everything else on this card, it really wasn't worth it. Either way, the pay-per-view was decent. But anyway, I'll be back tomorrow with my review for AEW Double or Nothing, and it better be good.